Hi, it's Susan Peirce Thompson, and I'm excited to be with you for the weekly video blog. You'll see that I'm kind of dressed up here, and that's because I just spent all day filming video for the new 3 video series. It's a free series that I'm going to be releasing in a little bit. It's called Food Freedom, and I can't wait to share these videos with you. So in the meantime, I've been thinking about the easiest thing to eat when you're doing bright line eating. What's the easiest thing to eat that keeps you on your plan and feeling happy, thin, and free? And the answer might surprise you. The easiest thing to eat is nothing. Nothing, like literally eating nothing. So what makes me say this? Well, I was at a wedding reception yesterday. It wasn't a wedding reception, it was an engagement party. But this couple, they weren't gonna have a big wedding. They were gonna kind of go away and have a tiny wedding. So this was the big party to celebrate their union. And it was one of these beautiful affairs with a big white tent and gorgeous food display. And it was kind of bordering on dinner time for me. So I was kind of debating, am I gonna eat here? And I was looking over the food there and, just to describe, there were some vegetables. But the vegetables were in a little cup like this with some dip at the bottom and then like 1 carrot, 1 sugar snap pea, 1 spear of red pepper strip, and 4 little things. And I was thinking to myself, okay, I'd have to eat like 40 of those to make my vegetable portion for dinner. And then there was some hummus, but it was surrounded by chips. I'm like, okay, I don't eat chips. And there was some cheese and pepperoni on a platter. I'm like, okay, I could get into real trouble with that. And so I was kind of casing the joint for food. And what I realized was, you know what? If I try to get my dinner from this display, I'm going to drive myself crazy. I'm not going to enjoy talking to anybody. I'm just going to be thinking, have I gotten my portion? Has it been the right amount? Has it been too much? And I was already crazy just thinking about it. And I just said, you know what? I'm not going to eat anything here. Nothing. They had a big jug of water with cucumber slices in it and little squeezes of lemon and lime in a cup. And I just went over and I had that. I probably had 4 cups of cucumber water with lemon and lime. Like my big choice was, am I going to squeeze lemon into my water or lime into my water? And that was about my speed because the rest of the food was just going to drive me crazy. And so after that party, it wasn't even that late when we left, and I ended up having a delicious, wonderful dinner that felt fine. And that night, I was talking with one of my Bright Line Eating buddies, a woman named Lyndon, and she'd gone out to a meet and greet group that day, a social gathering. And as she was relating it to me, she's like, well, the food was totally easy, which was great, and I really enjoyed the people there. And I stopped her and I was like, what do you mean the food was totally easy? Because she said it with such certainty and conviction, like the food was a non-issue. And I was kind of curious because typically when I eat out, sometimes, it's not that cut and dry that it's, so easy when I don't have my digital food scale. So I asked her and she said, oh, well, it wasn't mealtime, so I didn't eat anything there. I had some herbal tea. And I thought, of course, that's why it was so easy, because you ate nothing. The easiest thing to eat when you do bright line eating, when you go out and about, is nothing. Eat when you've got your digital food scale on you. And, it reminds me of this movie from 1973 called Soylent Green. And, it's this futuristic movie and, the world has been demolished by, our bad behavior and there's pollution and everything. And the only food that people have to eat is these little capsules, right? Soylent Green. And I always know my people, the people that come to work with me, when they say, if I could just not eat, I would be so much happier. Like I know I could be successful if I just don't eat, just Soylent Green. I mean, I want my nutrition boiled down into, can I just take a couple capsules a day and then I just don't have to eat? And it's, to the person who's low on the susceptibility scale, that sounds crazy because food is delicious. It's wonderful to eat. And I actually really enjoy my food so much of the time. But when you're high on the susceptibility scale and food makes you crazy, and you notice that, geez, if I just don't eat, everything is fine. It's as soon as I start to eat that the wheels start to spin, the hamsters go in my head of, have I eaten enough? Have I not eaten enough? Am I going to eat more? There's a little bit left on the table. Are other people looking at it too? Will they think bad of me if I take that extra little bit? And all that madness, my God. So when someone says, I wish I could just not eat, I want Soylent Green tablets, I think, okay, you're my people. I can help you. This is where the brilliance of 3 meals a day sets in. It's amidst this landscape of insanity that just eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and frankly minimizing the number of encounters we have to engage in with food, because it is challenging to engage and get it right and then disengage. It's a little bit of a trick. And so 3 meals a day and a digital food scale make all of that so much easier, so much more peaceful. So what I'm grateful for today is that I'm gonna get this right and be honest here. I think 29 days out of 30 on average, I go to bed and journal about my day and what I ate or didn't eat, whether I exercised or didn't exercise, how I felt in my body, whether my clothes fit or didn't fit right or whatever. None of that is on my mind at all. It's just not even a part of the landscape. Maybe if it's even more than 29 out of 30 days. It's like most of the time, almost all the time, that chatter is gone from my life. And I think the reason is that I capitalize on eating nothing so much of the time. I go through my day not engaging with eating opportunities where other people, you know, are having a donut at the company office party, you know, and I'm like, no, thank you. And I just have my water. You know, it's so much easier for me in so many social situations just to eat nothing and then go to my carefully prepared Brightline meal when it's mealtime and eat that and feel awesome about it. So that's the easiest thing to eat if you're in Brightline eating land and you're out and about with people. And that's the end of this week's vlog. And if you have a question that you would like answered, go ahead and send it in to Susan@brightlineeating.com and I will answer it on the weekly video blog, and I will see you next week. Have a great week, everybody.